Hey everybody, my name is Rob. I am the founder and CEO of Anti-War Tees, and today is May the 20th, 2012. Well, let me adjust my camera here so you can see the handsome shirt that I pulled out of the anti-war store today. And it just basically says not anti-American, just anti-war. I wish the majority of the people could understand that. But I just pulled it out so you could see the handsome shirt and know that you can pick this shirt up along with many other designs at the website. What I really want to mention today is the NATO meeting going on in Chicago. And if you've looked around on the internet, you've seen some clashes between protesters and the Chicago Police Department. And I think it underscores very rightly the fact that we live in a neo-fascist, neo-feudal police state. And I have 75 items here that I'm going to heartily mention to underscore that fact. And I will post a copy of this at the website so you can read through it and of course check out some of the links that I've included in the listing that I won't be able to include here. But I want you to consider this very fact that we are not free. And I think today's meeting and the clashes with protesters underscore that fact. So let me mention these 75 things in a hurriedly fashion, and again, go to the website later today or tomorrow and check out the article and look at them for yourself. The first thing that I want to mention is Leon Panetta's appearance before Congress, stating to Congressman Sessions that Congress no longer has the authority to declare war. That rests with the United States, with the executive branch, and that will depend upon consultation with the UN. We have TSA groping us at our airports. We watch TSA molest old people. They destroy colostomy bags, pull diapers off of babies, grope genitals. When an attractive woman goes through the line, they immediately swarm her to fondle her, and it is just horrific at what the TSA is doing at our nation's airports. But it doesn't stop there, because now they are at the train stations, they are at our teenagers' proms, they are at sporting events, they are conducting joint operations with military in checkpoints. The next item that we want to mention is the fact that the U.S. has launched the Stuxnet to disrupt the internet so they can take control of it. Of course, we have a corporate-controlled media. We are seeing the militarization of local and state police. In fact, they are taught that our founding fathers are terrorists. There are a plethora of cameras, traffic cameras, city cameras, tracking our very move. We are seeing day by day the increased brutality of the police. They like to kick pregnant women in the stomach. They get off on the pain and the pain that they cause. They beat homeless people to death. Again, getting off on it. Almost a sexual experience for the police. Of course, we're seeing, we saw George Bush ram through with his helpers the Patriot Act. That is the end of the Fourth Amendment. The National Defense Authorization Act, which is the end of the Fifth and 14th Amendments. The warrantless downloads of cell phones, illegal seizing of weapons. All you have to do is go back to Katrina, and you can see the National Guard seizing people's weapons. The police now are taking blood at DUI stops. Secret arrest, FEMA camps. All you have to do is read FM 3-39.40 from February of 2010 if you do not believe that the FEMA camps exist. The civilian inmate labor document. All you have to do is just Google that. Chanting USA is now considered racist. The elimination of posse comitatus, the emergence of white Al-Qaeda, the empire which has brought horrific destruction upon the Middle East is now turning inward. And now libertarians and Ron Paul types are considered the new Al-Qaeda. See Something, Say Something is a snitch program. Facebook tracking, smartphone tracking, webcam spying on us, raids on raw milk producers, felonies for protesting, paying for coffee in cash is now considered a terroristic act. The National Defense Preparedness Executive Order. What that does is give the government control of all resources. The National Defense Executive Reserve. That means conscription. We're getting close to a national draft, if you can believe it. The clergy response teams, InfraGuard, FEMA brigades, Executive Order on Rural Councils, Council of Governors. Of course, we've already mentioned the TSA. What about RFID chips in our clothing and in our children's clothing? Another system to track us. Arrested for filming police. Blatant voter fraud. False flags. Well, we know the Gulf of Tonkin was a false flag. Oklahoma City was a false flag. The underwear bomber was a false flag. 9/11 was a false flag. And now we can expect more false flags by this government. In fact, going on around on the internet now is a possible false flag of the president being assassinated, all to bring in a tighter control system. Free speech zones, Obamacare, our own public school system is a sign of central control. The Federal Reserve, a progressive graduated income tax. The idea that war is peace or for humanitarian reasons. Infanticide, executive orders expanding the power of the executive branch. The Strategic Prosperity Partnership under UN control. $15 million for having a garage sale. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources raiding private farms to kill what they say are feral pigs and then levying fines upon those farmers. Agenda 21, global warming and carbon taxes. Little girls cannot have lemonade stands now in this neo-fascist, neo-feudal police state. Exploring the idea that the Declaration of Independence is somehow illegal. The Department of Homeland Security purchasing 475 million rounds of ammunition. They're getting ready to take on the American people. James Stewart from Rawsome Foods is raided for selling raw milk. Raw milk is a terroristic act. Personal and individual gardens are illegal. Bernard von Nothaus arrested for producing a silver coin that in no way, shape, or form looked like any U.S. legal tender, but because it is silver and it was privately minted, they chose to arrest him. The Department of Defense manual from the DOD says that protesting is low-level terrorism. The Supreme Court ruling that allows for anyone to be strip searched at a routine arrest or a routine stop. A bill that allows the IRS to deny travel outside the country if anyone owes more than $50,000 to them in income tax. Price controls. We're seeing price controls continue. I mean, near zero interest rates, that is price control. A video circulating out on the internet of a boy being shocked or tasered by police for not removing his coat, and they're getting off on it. Regulating vitamin and mineral as drugs. Look at Google Codex Alimentarius. $300 fines for water and bird baths. Labor Department rule banning rural kids from doing chores out on the farm. Government secretly preparing to evacuate Chicago during NATO summit, and some of that has occurred. And the last thing that I want to mention, but obviously it's not the last, is that the Obama administration has appointed a super committee of 12 people that can veto anything coming out of the Congress. So, I mean, we live in a neo-fascist, neo-feudal police state. And if you don't believe it, you have to wake up and begin to see what is going on around you. Make sure if you have time, go over to the store or go over to the website, www.antiwartees.com. Look at the shirts. Make sure you pick up one, and also take a look at the Anti-War Tees page on Facebook. Thanks and have a good day.